Your deliverability and email open rates can literally make or break your business. That's because if your emails are going to spam, nobody's going to see them, so anything that you create and send won't even matter. But on the other hand, if your open rate is 20%, and let's say you're making 10k per month, you can easily double the open rate and get it to 40%, maybe even 50 or 60, and your revenue increase will follow. So if you double your open rates, your revenue will double as well. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to do exactly this, which is how to get between 40 to 60% open rate on all of your emails if you're using Klaviyo. So let's get right into it. It's going literally to cover everything you need to know step by step. I will show you everything so you can just walk with me through this video and follow everything I do. If your email is going to spam and your deliverability is bad, the first thing you want to do is set up a custom sending domain. You do this by going to your Klaviyo account, then clicking on your logo and clicking on settings. Then you go on domains and then you click on connect a domain, okay? Then you need to enter your main domain. So in this case, it's going to be peaknature.co because this is my demo store, but you will just enter your domain right there. Then you click on next, and then you can click on the, when it says sending domain, you can type in whatever. So like track or send or email or whatever. I usually do send, to be honest, so you can just type in send. And then for routing type, you can do either dynamic or static. Overall, dynamic is going to be better, but not all domain providers will allow you to use this one, okay? That's because the dynamic type you must add NS records, which is like a specific type of DNS records to your domain. And again, not all providers provide it. So if your provider does it and you can add NS records, then go with dynamic domain. If you can't, go with static and it won't be an issue at all. Like you still will improve your deliverability and get out of the spam folder. Then you just click on next. You can also click on this. So Klaviyo is going to generate a DMARC record for you, which you also need to add. And that was going to be my second step. So we're going to complete 2 steps in one. So make sure that you have it selected. You can turn it off, but I don't know why you would. So make sure you add it as well. Then you hit on next, set up manually. And then for domain provider, you can choose your own domain provider. So they're going to show you, the right article on how to do it, and they are going to show the exact instructions. If you use GoDaddy, then just follow this and click on the links they're sharing. But I'm using Namecheap, so I'm going to click other and then click on next. And these are the records that you need to add. Like I said, the NS type record is the one that is required for the dynamic sending domain. If it was static, there are like some other ones, I believe, like CNAME, I believe, records, and every domain provider has type CNAME. So if your provider doesn't have NS, then go with the static one. But again, if it does, go with this one. And now you need to log into your domain provider's account and you need to add all of those records under your domain. So here we are in my domain provider account. This is the domain Peak Nature. I'm going to click on manage. And then I'm going to go to advanced DNS. And then you can see the host records, and this is exactly where you need to add all of those records. So you click on add new record, the type will be NS, you type in send, and then you need to copy this part for value and paste it. Add new record, same thing, NS, send, you can even paste the same thing, just change 1 to 2, you can see they go all the way to the 4. So the same thing, send, you just paste it, another one, which is gonna be the last one. And then we have all of the NS records added. Now we need to add one more TXT record for the Klaviyo verification. So we're gonna do it like that. And then one more, which is gonna be DMARC. You can just copy, the values that Klaviyo gave you. It's entirely fine. You just paste all of them. And once you do this, make sure you click save all changes. And that, you save all of this. It's gonna take a second to probably, out of those DNS records. And I guess that Klaviyo will also take a moment to verify that they're live. So usually I like to wait like a few minutes. I'm gonna click verify right now. Sometimes it's like instant, but as it says, sometimes it can take a few minutes, sometimes it can be 48 hours. So overall, you need to make sure that you do all of this, and then it will take some time to verify. But after it's verified, you will need to activate it. So you're not done yet. I'm going to very quickly refresh to see if anything changed. Not yet, so they're still verifying it. But after they do verify it, then you're going to have to apply the domain or like activate it, because otherwise it won't be active and you will still be using your old sending domain, which is not ideal. But while it's populating, I'm going to show you what to do next, because this is the the main part, which is the technical setup, having your branded sending domain. And we have also added the demarc record, which is very important. But then you need to create segments that you will use to warm up the domain, because that's another very important step. So we go to list and segments, create new, and create segment. And now we are going to be creating engaged segments for your email list, okay? If I go to this document, I covered like a very brief plan. Let me actually maybe make it bigger. Very brief plan on how to warm up your domain. So week 1, you will be sending to your opened 7 segment, 2 campaigns per week, 1 plain text, 1 design. Week 2, opened 15, 2 per week. Week 3, opened 30, and so on and so on. You can see that week over week, we are expanding these segments, making them bigger and wider, but then we're also increasing the volume a little bit. Now, important thing here is that if your deliverability is very bad, you can start with plain text emails only for the first 2 weeks. Like, that's honestly a very, very good practice, which I recommend you do, but I understand that some brands are just very opposed to sending plain text emails only. That's why I said that you need at least 1 plain text email, and preferably you want to start with the plain text one, okay? But these are going to be the segments that you need, so let's go into Klaviyo. And then you type in VM, open 7, what someone can receive email marketing, add condition, and make sure it's end, what someone has done, opened email, at least once in the last 7 days. But then you want to add one more filter. You would do Apple privacy open equals false, okay? Because if it's true, then you're going to get a lot of false opens, which we don't want to, because that can mess up your deliverability too. Another condition, or, instead of and, we are going to do or here, and then click the email at least once in the last 7 days. And this is your open 7 segment. So we click on create segment, and then you want to do more of these. So we will click on manage segment, clone segment, and you can do is why the other segment is being created. Open 15, and you just, replace 7 with 15, clone segment. Once again, manage segment, clone segment. You want to do 30 instead of 15 right now. So we're going to do 30 everywhere pretty much, clone segment. Once again, manage segment, clone segment, 45. This is a little bit boring, but again, as you can see, it literally takes a few minutes to create all of these. So it's gonna take you a few minutes, but if you improve your deliverability, that's gonna be like pretty much forever if you don't mess it up. So, spending those few minutes is definitely worth it. Auto opened 60, and let's just very, very quickly finish that with opened 90 segment. So we are going to have all of these, okay? And then you can see we're having all of these populated, open 7, 15, 30, 45, 60, 90. And if we go to our plan, we can expand to even week 6, actually. So it's going to be week 6, and that's going to be opened 90. And for the volume, you can still do 3 per week, okay? So now let's go back to our account and see if the domain was verified. Okay, so as you can see, it is actually verified, and now we need to activate it. You will do it by doing it the same way that you did it for your first time, which is going to your account, settings, domains, and then after you refresh, you should have an information like this, which is that your domain is ready to activate for email sending. And again, even if it's verified, the job is not done yet. You need to click on activate. You need to type in I understand. And then you need to click on activate once again. And when it says active, this is when you're fully done with the setup, okay? But now we have the segments, we have the custom sending domain. So we need to start sending emails, right? Once again. But now that we have the custom sending domain and that we have our segments and the technical setup and we have the segments, the next step is warming up this domain and sending campaigns to the segments we created. So again, you really want to follow this path or this plan. Essentially, it's a very, very solid plan. We're actually using it for all of our clients. So you can pause it, you can take a screenshot or whatever, but this is how you want to do it. And you simply just go to campaigns, create campaign, name it, wherever, whatever you're like. Also for the content of these campaigns, you want to send regular campaigns that you would send anyways. Just make sure that one of these is a plain text and the other one is design, and that's pretty much it. So let's do FAQs. We can also make sure it's plain text, and we can add, today's date. Then you make sure it's an email, draft date, it doesn't matter. Click on continue. Okay, so we have this open 7 segment. It's 0 because it's still populating. And then one more thing is that you will want to exclude some of these segments, okay? So we want to have your exclusion list and then an engaged list. If you don't know how to create these or how to clean your list from the profiles, I've got another video showing you how to do it, so make sure you watch it. There's also going to be a link below this video in the description and in the pinned comment where you can just, go through the guide, copy and paste the segments for cleaning the list, and you're going to see how to save on your Klaviyo bill, but also get rid of the profiles. So once you have all of this done, you also want to turn on smart sending, because we don't want to send, multiple emails to people the same day, especially for warming up the domain. And then you click on next. For the subject line, you would type in, something. So your questions answered. All you'd need to know about XYZ. Okay, whatever. And then I usually recommend starting this warm up process with a plain text email. So we'd click on create. Now, there's really two ways to do branded emails. I mean, plain text emails. You can do branded plain text email, which is gonna be, let me very quickly show you. Image, where you would put your logo, and then you have text that you type the email copy, which would be whatever, right? Like this would be an example of a plain text email with a logo over here. But for the domain warm up, I'd recommend doing, regular plain text. So we would go to those three dots, switch to TXT only editor, and this is your typical plain text email. Okay, so just type in whatever, right? And then this would be your email. You can also add a link, like it's not an issue. Sometimes people are gonna tell you to not add links, but honestly, you can just make sure it's one link, and you don't have like email this long with like 10 or 5 links, because that would be too much. But then you hit on save. Obviously, you would need to add the default name for the first name. But then once you have it, you just hit on next, and then click on schedule or send. And this is pretty much how you do it. Again, you need to follow this schedule for sending the emails, because that's gonna help you increase deliverability very quickly. But now I also want to show you some bonus tips. So the bonus tip number 1 is, first of all, just using the plain text emails. Again, they have better deliverability, but they also perform great. A lot of brands think that this is only about deliverability, and they look off brand, and like they just don't want to send them because they think they won't perform. Well, that's the opposite from the truth, because these emails perform very well actually. Even though they're a plain text, they just feel different. They stand out from the inbox, and trust me, they perform very well. Then you also want to avoid spam content. So especially when you're warming up the domain, you want to avoid words like, free shipping, or like you won, or giveaway, or anything like that in the subject line or preview text in the email, but also in the alt text, okay? And also in your content in general. Like if you have bad content, which is spammy, people are going to mark it as spam, and you will end up in spam as a result. That's why you don't want to send bad content, you want to send good content. But now let me show you one more technical thing with Klaviyo, which is very important, which is having all of your content in one section. And I'm going to show you what I mean in just a second. Let me just select one of the templates from Klaviyo. Whatever, it can be this one. I just want it to be a very, okay, this is a long one, I like it. So we really want to have all of your content in one section, and I'm going to explain what I mean in just a second. As you can see right now, this is one section, second section, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, 9 sections. Not ideal, especially when you have a lot of content. Why? Let me show you. If you click on preview and test, you're going to see that the email size is 60 kilobytes. And overall, the higher this number, the worse. And there's no reason why you couldn't have all of this content in just one section. So all you have to do is just drag and drop all of the elements into one section. Okay, you can see that right now this section is empty, and this is exactly what we wanted. And remember the email size, let me just very quickly show you. But the email size is 60 kilobytes, right? Now just watch me doing it, and you will see that, I'm going to pretty much do the exact same thing. We're going to have the same content, but the email size will be way smaller. Okay, so we're going to remove this empty section. This is the 2 column, I believe. Okay, that was weird. Okay, 2 columns, equal, drag and drop it. You can't see it because it's black background, but we'll take, okay, actually, this would need to be black, right? Right. I'm gonna click on this, black background color, we have it black. That's fine. Then same here. Can make it black. Obviously it's not ideal, but we can make the whole section color black as well. Not the section color, there's somewhere else. They're honestly changing it. Okay, so it's content color. You can make it black, right? Then if you don't want the, you could just also like drop and drop the columns and change their colors. But yeah, my point is that you want to remove those sections. And then you want to drag and drop this stuff, right? So overall, like when you're designing it, you would need to do it a little bit differently because like right now it's white, so it doesn't look good. You would just make this black and this black as well. So you could just make, or like you could upload it as a whole image, so it also looks a little bit better. But yeah, right now I'm gonna make it white. I'm gonna make this part black, and this logo, you know, it would be normally just like a black logo, pretty much, right? But my point is that we really want to move all of the sections into into just one section. So again, 2 blocks for the columns. I'm just gonna drag and drop content. Another one, 50-50 split. There's gonna be, okay, there's gonna be 50-50 split, and there's gonna be one full width. Okay, so I'm gonna drag and drop it here, drag and drop it here, remove the empty section, drag and drop it here, remove the empty section, remove this without needing to add the column, because if you have like single column content, it can be all done within one column. And then you click on this, you click on this, you drag and drop everything pretty much, you remove this. And yeah, you pretty much have all of the content right now. Obviously, you know, the text here would be black, or yeah, okay, these are social media icons, so we can make them black, whatever. This is text that you can make black as well. And again, you could do it, you know, to make it look like previously that was black and whatnot. I believe you would do it by doing padding 0, and then you make like each section black color background, you know, black, right? And there you go. You have the content pretty much as it was, right? Same goes for here, where you do block background color, black, white icons. Okay, so we have this, and now I believe we also had this part. So yeah, it's also full black right now. For this part, you know, you would also make the background black, then you would add text color. You would make it white, and then you could add like a space or whatever to make it, you know, to make the whole section be black, okay? But then what I want to show you is the email size. We didn't change anything in terms of the content. We just dragged and dropped it into one section, and we saved 15 kilobytes, which is, you know, 3/3 of what we had before, which is crazy. Another thing, which is tip for deliverability, is honestly removing social media links. I don't like usually having them for 2 reasons. Why? The first one is just the more links, the worse deliverability. But the second one is that you want people to click on the call to action button, you know, shop now, rather than going to your Instagram and scrolling it, not buying from you. So for those 2 reasons, I honestly like to include the exclude the social media links, right? And again, you will just play with the padding to make it look like exactly like it was before. I'm just doing it, you know, just fairly quickly, so the video is not too long and actually you see some value. But yeah, you could see here that, you know, we're actually very, very close to, yeah, it's exactly like it was before. Obviously, you would need to like make sure it's in the middle and whatnot, but I believe this is exactly what it was before. So again, we have the same content with 15 kilobytes email size less, and that might sound like not a lot, but it's a lot actually, because it's like, you know, we saved pretty much, I mean, right now the email size is 3/3 of what it was before. And again, we removed the social media links, and right now it's looking way, way better. Of course, when you're doing this, you also want to avoid like so many heavy content in terms of gifs and whatnot, at least when you're warming up the domain. But after you're done with the warm up, then, you know, you can keep doing that and no problem at all. Now, a few more tricks or best practices is always having the alt text for your images, so people know what it is. You also want to have all of your images linked, like, you know, in this example, you would need to add links for this so people can actually click on this. But one more thing that we like to do is add a text block at the very, very end of the email. So, you know, you would have a text block that would be about your mission statement. So it would be just, you know, honestly, this text doesn't really matter in terms of the content because not many people are going to read it. You're just making it a very, very long text, like something like this, let's say. Maybe even one more paragraph. And then you make the font way, way smaller. So like people can see it, but like, you know, it's not visible. You also want to change the formatting a little bit. So you want to align it to center, for example. For the lane spacing, you know, just make it 100 or maybe even 80, right? Stuff like that. You want to make it really, really small. And then for the padding, you want to make it 0. You can just kind of expand it from the top. So it's not that, I'm sorry, from the top. So yeah, it's like a little bit higher. I'm lower in the email. And yeah, like this in itself is going to help you with deliverability. especially that we, like me and my team, upload emails in a way that we upload whole images. So you would have an email, let's say, with one image as a whole email or like two images, and you would add this element to balance the ratio between design heavy elements and plain text elements, and that would help you with deliverability. And then, yeah, make sure you always have alt links. And usually you don't like to include, offers, because again, when I say offers, I mean like spammy content, because those algorithms can read the alt text, like this is what the alt text is for. So when you type in like, 15% off day only, then the algorithms are going to see like, okay, this is probably some kind of promotion, so they're going to put you in spam or promotion. So make sure that alt text is something different, and you don't want to lie about it, but you could just make it like President's Day or like celebrating President's Day, stuff like that, okay? So make sure you have all of this, and yeah, like these are our best practices for deliverability. Once you follow all of them, you are going to start going into the primary folder, into the promotions maybe, but never into the spam, which is the most important thing. And again, if you want to learn more about deliverability and how we do everything, like literally everything there is to learn about deliverability, there's going to be a link below this video about, again, free deliverability masterclass, completely free. But if you want to clean your email list, there's gonna be, first of all, a link in the video description down below. It's also gonna be pinned, showing you how to clean the list. And then you're also going to see my video showing you how to do it, which is cleaning your list and saving on your Klaviyo bill. It's going to show up right now. Make sure you watch it. Thanks for this video. Cheers.